Monday this week.
Yep. Yep. Because of Easter, we had to push it a day, so we released it on Monday.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed your Easter, beginning of the week. This week, it's kind of the halfway point here for the week. Everybody, kind of time to regroup. Still, obviously, all day today, tomorrow, and for y'all that trade Friday. So, still a good chunk of the week left to be catching trades. Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. There should be some good setups still for the rest of this week. So
Hell yeah.
that's one of the main reasons we do this session here. It's because we catch you guys up with what we've seen for the week, and then we prepare you to close out the week strong with, obviously more analysis and setups. So we'll see what we could find.
Yes, sir. So inside of the chat earlier in the week, guys, every single day we post this watch list. We post our watch list for the New York and the Asian session. One of our students actually, he posts the watch list and helps us out with that. And then Nick and myself in the beginning of the week, if we scroll back in the Telegram, actually post all the higher time frame analysis for pretty much like 10 plus pairs. So you guys can go back. Obviously, you got to scroll up a little bit. We're still only on April 5th. What is today? The 7th. So this is like Tuesday. So as you can see here, we got all of Nick's analysis was posted in here, and then I posted up my analysis shortly after that. You guys can come into this analysis and click on it. You'll see, all right, complete idea. I started posting these screenshots so you guys can see like every time frame what I'm looking at. And then you can come ahead and play this forward. Again, you guys can use this analysis for the week. As you can see, it's the higher time frame, 4 hour with gold. Here we're looking to break above this level, then take long opportunities, which is kind of where we're at right now. So we'll catch you guys up, with all the pairs. We're gonna get started. This is recorded as always. And at the end of the session, I'll do kind of some updates with FX Seed, with some of our programs, and what's going on. So what do you want to do? You want to start?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. It's cool with me.
All right, word. Here you go.
Cool. All right, guys. So we're just gonna dive into it. I'm gonna cover a few pairs here. Just my watch list, DXY through gold here. I'm gonna pass it off to Angelo. So let's go ahead, dive into DXY, which is just the dollar index. We don't trade this. We more so just use this as an indicator to get an understanding of what the dollar is doing, both intraday and intra-week. We notice that's the best way to make trades. A lot of the movement comes from the dollar. So if you're on the right side of this, the analysis on the dollar, it's going to increase your chances for, higher probability trades on major pairs.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Whenever our dollar bias is correct, then we're just murdering trades.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when it's wrong, we're just completely getting fucked.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good to stop in here, see what's going on. Again, as Angelo said, if we're, unsure of the dollar or if it's in a range, it's probably not the best time to trade. When it starts trending, then we're making money hand over fist. We're just riding the trends at that point. So here we are on the daily time frame on DXY. Overall, we have been very bearish, right? And then this zone down here, I want to bring your attention to. This is kind of the pivot point, if you will, for this trend. So this monthly here was clear support over here on the left, right? Finally broke through it, right? We consolidated a little bit. We started changing trends, getting some higher lows, and then we broke back through the monthly, right? It was acting as resistance over here. We broke through it. Then it acted as support again. This is what I call a transition, right? There's a change of trend here. So it's a higher low, broke the lower high. We're now bullish. Okay, so on the daily time frame, we're bullish here. Let's go to the 4 hour, see what's going on this time frame. Okay, here was the break and retest, the higher low. So technically this is still bullish. As long as it's above 91.5, we can get a higher low or reversal anywhere in here and still be bullish. Ideally, we wanted to see it reverse here at the 38.2. That would have been a higher probability trade, would have been a nice continuation from that point. We could have entered there, but clearly it broke through it. So now you could take some intraday trades. So this means like 30-minute or less, trying to catch some shorts into major support or a deeper fib level like the 61.8. So if you see the confirmations here, you could take a nice short opportunity into support down here. Okay, if you want to do that, it's totally possible. Just look for this little retest of resistance here, and then strong bearish setups. Target lower down towards this support level, not pretty much 92 flat, right where this 200 EMA is, and then look for it to continue even lower, maybe, potentially. So that's where we're at now. We can get rid of this long idea, and now we're gonna pretty much wait for a reversal down at this area. This is the next area where we would potentially be looking for long opportunities if we see the reversal. Well, I mean, it's DXY. We're not going to long it, obviously, but we're looking for gold to turn bullish, and then we'll, take trades on other pairs, considering this. Okay, so this is what we're at now. Could take a nice little drop here, and then we're looking for a reversal, and then we'll start buying the dollar on, other pairs. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. That's DXY, guys. Let's move on to our first pair, AU. Daily time from the start. Overall, super, super bullish. As you guys can see, the most significant zone for current price action is this weekly at 0.76. But this is interesting of what's happening here, because this is essentially just a massive range, right? This is consolidation all in here, a little bit of ranging between these levels. So, we really want to see this ranging break, right? We want to see conviction. We want to see this pair kind of just take off in one direction and continue with the trend. This consolidation doesn't really present too much for us unless you're trading the range itself. But for now, we really just want to wait till we see some sort of conviction. So we know we're bullish as long as we're above this weekly, 0.76. Actually, get rid of this one. We know we're bullish as long as we're above that. But we can see clearly that we're bearish on the 4 hour. So let's go to the 4 hour now. We have this overall trend in mind. Okay, and now we're moving a little bit lower here. Okay, so this was support on the 4 hour that was broken right at this level, 0.772 area, right? It broke lower, fell down towards the weekly, and then we've been kind of consolidating at this level. So this is going to be pretty straightforward how this is going to play out. Let's do this. See, this actually reversed here. Kind of expected it to either break or reverse. It reversed. Still kind of indecisive around this level. So let's go ahead and draw up some potential trade opportunities. Let me just extend this over. Okay. Sorry, guys, just got to get this adjusted here. And then I'll draw on these trade opportunities. All right, cool. So as we're consolidating here, right, we're not really going to take any trades just, based on any small, setups. We want to see something significant at this level. So that means, where's the trade path tool? There it is. All right, so if we want to short, we're going for this. We're looking for a lower high below 0.76. And that means a significant lower high. Not this crap, not this low volume crap over here. Not even this. This conviction's nice, but you want to see this lower high form below the weekly, not above. Okay, so that would be a good sign to then enter short, and we'll target down towards 75 flat, the next support level, and that could be a good trade. So that's one way this could play out if this breaks the support and goes bearish, most definitely. However, if this starts to push higher, look for the higher low above 0.768. Pretty straightforward. And then we're going to target the prior high, which is the high of the range at 0.78. Okay, let's go zoom out a little bit, see if this makes sense. Now you guys can just see here, this is clearly a huge range. So if we start pushing up, if we see a reversal like this, push up, little higher low action, retest above the MAs, could see it kind of rocket into the 78 resistance level. Okay, but then the opposite's true. If it breaks this is a huge level, guys. So if this weekly breaks and we get that lower high or a strong retest, this thing's dropping. So we'll be ready for either scenario. But yeah, that's AU. Let's move on to AJ. Daily time frame, overall bullish as hell. Super, super bullish. And similar to AU, right? Kind of consolidating in this area. The volume is here, but I mean, it's just kind of ranging, right? So resistance is close to 85, support's close to 82. Just kind of indecisive in this area. So let's just take the overall trend, very bullish. We can see that, and go to the 4 hour. Okay, here we are, a little bit of ranging, as you can see. This right here, current price action, was looking pretty interesting, right? We were consolidating after a little bit of a rally here at resistance. So it looked like it was going to break, especially on the lower time frame. I really thought this thing was just going to start hiking higher, and we would have seen 85.35 hit, but clearly that didn't happen. Instead, this thing flopped. You can actually spot a little transition here of the MAs on the 4-hour, and this thing started dumping. So this is actually one of the scenarios that we had marked up. So we wanted it to dump, pull back, retest, give us a lower high, and then continue. So this thing could definitely keep pushing lower. We'll see. It would probably be something like this. Ideally, you want to get the lower high below the weekly, just like we saw in AU. All right, so this is more of a short-term trade. If you are catching this short opportunity here, you could wait for this. Wait for the pullback to basically 84.15. Just below that, you want to look for a lower high. And that would be a nice little lower time frame short opportunity into our weekly support at 83.3. And then you want to wait for the same thing, right? Once it gets to this level, you'll take your profits, you'll either close most of your trade and so on. And then you want to wait for this level to play out. How's the weekly going to react with price action right there, smashing into it? Is it going to break? Is it going to reverse? Considering this trade in mind already, we're already shorting. So we would be looking for this, hoping for the break, waiting for that lower high to then enter on, and then targeting down towards 82.2. So 2 great trade potentially. Just got to wait on those confirmations, see how it plays out.
This thing looks good.
Right? Not bad. Yeah. AJ looks solid. So what's the flip side, guys? We always cover both scenarios. Right now, clearly these bearish setups are playing out, but we essentially want to be aware of all. Oh shit! Want to be aware of all trade scenarios, potential trade scenarios. So that means we got one left, the bullish scenario. So if this thing breaks higher, don't worry about it pulling back. Just you want to see this break above, higher low. We're in on strong bullish setups. Okay, that's what we really need to see at this point. Some sort of confirmed higher low with decent momentum. We don't want to see price action get caught in this little range again. We want to see conviction. All right, so that's where we're at right now on AJ. And yeah, we'll see how it plays out. This is got some good movement though coming in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so UJ now. UJ, son of a bitch. All right, UJ was bearish for a very long time, guys. Significantly bearish for a while, right? We even had this very steady bearish trend, push into new lows after we broke 104.5. That was short-lived. We saw a quick reversal at 102.5, and then the thing just came back with, more, I don't even know, more force than one of Elon's rockets or some shit. This thing just started pumping, breaks this trend. We get a transition of 104.5. We get our second higher low, and then that was it. It's gone. So we actually haven't seen structure since this rally. So that means we are extremely overextended, right? So this is kind of had me hesitant on placing any UJ trades. It's just so high up here. It's 38.2 is down here still, back in this range. It's still holding above the MAs. 61.8 is all the way down here at 107. So this thing could really pull back quite a bit, or keep pushing to a new high and then pull back. So we'll see. But where it's at right now is pretty important. Okay, it just broke this resisting trend line at 102.9. Okay, we're pulling back a little bit. So again, it's either going to reverse and just continue, with this trend, and it's not forming structure yet. It's definitely possible. It's a sharp reversal from this current area. If you are one of those traders that doesn't really give a shit about overall structure and just like sniping these trades, go for it. Take a lower time frame trade on UJ. If you see the reversals and confirmations, look for those transitions. But if you want something a little more conservative and you don't like trading over extended pairs, literally just wait for the pullback to 38.2 at the very least. Okay, we need to see something significant here. So that would look like this. I'll make the orange one the aggressive buy, and then I'll make this the conservative buy, the blue one. So if this pulls back to 38.2 like this we'd be buying this all day if it looks like this. Let me show you. Okay, comes back down, reverses at the 38.2, this little pocket of influence right here, right with the 200 EMA and so on. So that would be perfect. And then you want to catch a quick retest, higher low action right in here, right above this level. And that would be perfect. We'd be in on that. Okay, so again, if you are to buy this, you could catch one down here, a little more aggressive. Entering on the higher low would be the conservative. Okay, so that's where we're at right now on UJ. I mean, it's going to take a while to play out, guys. I really don't think I'll be taking a UJ trade this week, but you know, for the sake of analysis, here we are. It's just so overextended. All right, so let's move on to EJ. 1 second here. 1 second. Just need to get my coffee. That's good. I ran out of sugar though.
My dude.
Gotta go get more sugar. All right. Struggles, guys. Struggles. All right. EJ 4 hour
stuff. Jesus.
What's that?
I said get this guy some white stuff. Jesus.
Yeah. Need that good sugar. Some cane sugar, guys. All right. So EJ, here we are. Overall, super bullish. This has kind of been one of the weird pairs since, honestly, this whole COVID thing started. Definitely one of the weirder ones. Known for its absurd length of consolidation. Yeah, that's EJ. EJ just loves to move. All right, so the thing with EJ I've noticed lately, especially, whatever EJ wants to do, it commits heavy. So if it wants to go bullish, it's committing to bullish. It's going. You know, if it's ranging, it's committing to ranging. So you look at all this consolidation there. We're on the daily, guys. This is all consolidation. I'll get to that in a second, but 2 weeks. Oh no, what is this? 35 days of consolidation. Like, that's ridiculous. And then when it starts to drop, it really commits, right? Huge bearish trend and so on and so on. So that's EJ. Just a quick little, description of what EJ does. But overall, we're very bullish. So now let's go to the 4 hour. Let's see what kind of trade scenarios we could spot on this time frame. Actually, I want to show you that consolidation again. So this back here, this is a 35-day mark. Absolutely nuts, right? And then we went bullish and haven't looked back since. The most steady trend you can see, man. This thing is just pushing, pumping and pumping, breaking resistance, acting as support, breaking resistance, acting as support, and so on and so on. So let's zoom in on current price action. So this is essentially a high volume range, right? Clearly there's volume here. You can see the size of these candles. It's really pumping, but it's a range, meaning like it's got resistance, it's got support, doesn't really know what the hell it wants to do. So, you know, we really want to break outside of this range to get into a conservative entry. And it kind of looks like it's doing that right now. Okay, this was the most favorable trade path that we marked, this blue. So we thought that it was going to kind of pop up here, pull back, and give us a little higher low above resistance. That's exactly what happened right here, just above the MAs and engulfed. And now it looks like it's taking off. I mean, we did get a little doji candle, which isn't great at 0%. So, you know, maybe we'll keep this trade path in mind. Maybe it could pull back one more time, give us a little more conviction, more significant of a higher low. That'd be okay. Looking for something like that. But I just don't like this indecision that follows this engulfing. That's a little weird. I don't want to see it just reverse on me like something over here. Okay, so I want to see this higher low, strong higher low, preferably a pullback through the MAs and then a cross with some, you know, on some conviction. That would be perfect to enter on. And then I target the negative 27. Okay, so pretty much this trade path here. And then here is the flip side, the short scenario, guys. What needs to happen? Break and retest with a lower high clearly. Boom, that's it. We're in and we're shorting the hell out of it, taking out all these support levels. All right, so that's EJ. A little weird setup, but there's some trades there.
But EJ, yeah, EJ's looking pretty bullish.
Yeah, definitely bullish as hell.
So guys, you're not trying to buy at this high right now. If anything, see how it just formed on the 4 hour, this doji at the top here, like right at price action. Like if anything, that's showing signs of reversal and it's retesting that 130, 570 level. So this thing could potentially pull back. This thing could pull back. Yeah, like Nick wants. He has that little zone marked at 130, 200. That's kind of where we're looking to get into more buys at that level, because don't buy at the high. You know, the goal or the rule is to buy in the higher lows. In an uptrend, buy in the higher lows. In a downtrend, sell on the lower highs. So in this situation, if you were trying to get like a more intraday type move or even like a scalp move, you'd be trying to sell at this high right now, considering how it's slowing up at that level. As you move down time frames, you could start to see this thing actually is looking like at the top, what, an ascending triangle a bit.
Yeah, this isn't as, it looks like an ascending triangle at the top of a push here on the 4 hours, on the 30-minute rather. So
Mhm.
this is what Angelo's saying, how it could reverse. This would be your entry right here. See this little bit of support, holding this little pattern, boom. So yeah, if you're trying to take a intraday trade, lower time frame stuff, this is your like bread and butter right here, man. This is it.
Yeah.
So break, and there's a few confirmations here alone. If you look, guys, spot them, break of support, break of these MAs, little transition, lower high, in.
Yeah, and I would even be going down lower than this, but as we're going down time frames here, you could see this is why using every time frame is important, guys. So the 4 hour, we have a doji at the top, but as we're making our way down to the 30 to the 15, that area right there is an ascending triangle, which is a continuational pattern. So this thing is potentially showing us that it's making higher lows and it's testing that upper resistance level multiple times, which means that that level is getting weaker and weaker and ultimately could break out to the upside. So that's why it's important to really wait for that break ultimately of some level of support before shorting this. Like, don't just short it now because you
Absolutely.
caught your pants down.
Right. Yeah, whatever happens here, you got to wait for it. So like the patterns here, we know what the pattern means and stuff, but you're not pulling the trigger until you either see that or this. Right,
Yeah.
guys? You want to see the confirmations.
Yeah. And this is
Cool.
again more intraday. When Nick's going through his analysis, he's more focused on the overall 4 hour moves. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to trade a more intraday style, like within the New York session or scalp this and just get like quick moves, like you've got to get down to the lower time frames. Use the higher time frame. What's the overall direction here? But then you got to get down to the lower time frames and see like what is the actual opportunities at during this session.
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely hang around on the higher time frames for you guys. I mean, these concepts are the same. Like, let's say, like this pattern could be on the 30-minute too, and these trade scenarios around the significant level. It's definitely applicable. The concepts definitely translate throughout time frames. I just cover these for the sessions for you guys, and I also am more of a swing trader, so I'll be watching the 4 hour, monitoring trades more so on these time frames. But yeah, so. That's EJ. Looking pretty good. I'm going to wrap it up with gold here, and then I'm going to pass it off to Angelo for some other majors. All right, cool. So overall, gold on the weekly and higher has been very bullish. As we can see, we've been leading up to this point, this high at 2070, which was clearly influenced by Corona. And then since that point, we've been kind of falling off, getting these lower lows, lower highs, and so on. But now we can clearly say we are full-fledged bearish, and we broke 1800, which was a huge level. We shot down to 1675. We're coming back up, forming structure. Definitely bearish on the daily. So let's go to the 4 hour now. And now we just saw this double bottom on the daily, right? We saw a little bit of ranging in here. Price action is pulling back into this range. So this is a huge pocket of influence, guys. I mean, we have this resisting trend line. We have the 200 EMA here. Previous highs all from this range. So there's clearly other resistance in there. We have structure, our fib level 38.2, and then, any other confirmations we see going forward. So this thing is significantly bearish. We're clearly going to look for that continuation. We want to see that play out. So ideally, this is what we want to see right here. Let's extend this over a little bit. Boom. Okay. All right. So if this breaks here, this actually looks like this could be a head and shoulders, which would be funny. Let me know if you guys see this. So if this completed like this, came back up, and then dropped, see this head and shoulders pattern? Left shoulder, right shoulder, neckline. So either way, it just supports this short scenario and, what we need to see to enter on. So essentially just any retest of this neckline, as you can see, pretty much right here at 1720. So that would be beautiful. We take that short into our monthly back down to 1675. So some good pips there, good amount of pips, just over 400, close to 450. So that would be amazing. if we see that play out, and we'll keep that drawn up here. We'll wait to see if it plays out. Essentially, we're waiting for this range to break once again. Okay, we caught the trade once over here, right? We're going to catch it again if it plays out. So let's go over the long scenario, the final scenario for my analysis. Just extend this for a second here. All right, cool. Good. All right, so same thing, just the inverse, essentially, looking for a higher low above the range with strong bullish setups to enter on. And we're going to target back towards 1800. This is probably our most significant resistance. Definitely likely that we'll see this hit again if we see a little bit of a rally coming out of gold. All right, so that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Quick recap from me: DXY, AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold are the pairs that I covered for you. And now I'm going to pass it off to Angelo. Let's get it.
Nice. All right, so let's get into it here. I'm going to go over most of the major pairs. Again, guys, if you have any questions, post it up in the chat. At the end of the session, we'll go over some updates with FX Seed and with Forex League. So stick around for that. And if there's any pairs that you want to cover in addition to the ones that we're going over, again, just put in the chat and we can potentially go over it at the end. So let's go to GJ first. So I haven't traded much in the last day. I took some positions Sunday and Monday. Today I went ahead and kind of cleaned up my charts a bit. I'm going to start off with UCAD because I don't have anything on here. So we're going to start all the way up on the monthly time frame. We're going to run through kind of how we teach everyone to draw levels and where to mark them, support and resistance levels. We always start on the monthly time frame. And what I'll do is I'll just try to identify some sort of trend. So we could see here, and I try to focus on most previous price. So like this area right here, we can see that price was pushing up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back. So this right here has been hit not one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 times. So this is obviously an area that has been respected on both sides of the market. So this is where I want to draw one of my monthly levels. So I'm going to label this as monthly, and then I'm also going to go ahead. I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to make this a whole round number. This isn't like exactly quarters theory, but it is kind of the similar concepts with it. I try to draw these zones about 10,000 points apart or 1,000 pips apart. So what I'll do is I'll start from this level now. And obviously price is down here. So we want to look at, another level that is actually around price. As I look back, obviously we have nothing right here. Hold on, let me just bring this person in. We have nothing in this area. So now I got to start to look to the left, start to look back, where is the most previous area where price found support or resistance. We can see right here, we've got resistance, support, support, support. And if I come up on and bring on the candlestick chart, we can see here, clearly price respected this level, rejected this level, respected this level, look at the wick. So this is obviously a significant level that we want to worry about once price comes into. This is just telling me that there's liquidity in this area, there's volume in this zone, and that's where we want to look for reversals, potentially trade off of, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm going to bring on this one, and then we're just going to change this again, just round it out. And then when I get to my weekly level, I'll use this, measure the price between the two levels. As you could see, it's about 50 or 500 pips. I want it to be at least 500 pips on most of these pairs. And like I said before, the most I want it to be is 1,000 pips. That's kind of the range that I use to draw these levels. Then I'll take this off and I'll bring on these little zones here, because remember, it's not about the exact line. It's more of a range of price that we're looking, or that we're going to monitor once price gets into that level. As we can see with UCAD, we're really right in this zone right now, but we don't want to just anticipate reversals just based off this level. Like Nick was saying, we want to use like confluences. So what confluences is just multiple things in the market telling us to do something, to buy or to sell. So right here, we could see price is clearly in a downtrend, pushed lower, made this lower high, broke the support, pushed lower, made this support level, broke that, pushed lower. So now we're coming back up to retest this support level. Look at the wicks here. So we are on the lower time frame getting a bit of bullish pressure hopping in. And that's all this time frame is really telling me right now. So now I'm going to move down to a lower time frame and start to break things down a bit further. On this weekly time frame, as we could see, same thing in a very clear downtrend, breaking support, retesting as resistance, breaking support here, retesting as resistance, broke support, retest as resistance. Now it's the same thing over again. We just broke the support level. We're now retesting as resistance. We're in this like liquidity zone, this order area. So I am going to potentially look for reversals on this. This is the weekly time frame though. So we still got to keep going down time frames here, guys, and get to a time frame where we can actually see some structure. So this is obviously on the lower time frame an uptrend. Look at these four weeks. This thing has been bullish, pushing to the upside. So this is yet to find any sort of reversal. And what we can do is we can start to go down to the daily and a time frame even lower than that. Let me go ahead and get this into focus. So daily time frame, I can start to see some structure here. We had this low. Oh, it's not the right tool. We had this low form, and I like to just trace this out for anyone struggling with structure. Just like remove all the noise and just trace the bigger moves here. These are clearly the lower highs. If we just bring on the line chart here, these are clearly the lower high points. These are the lower lows, lower high, and I'll just change this color and leave that in the background. So in the back of my mind, I'm saying daily time frame is in a downtrend, forming lower lows and lower highs ultimately. And then right here, this is where we got to start to evaluate when am I going to actually start to take potentially positions with this like whole entire reversal in mind. It's coming down to the 4 hour. As we can see here, 4 hour was in that uptrend. We broke this level right here. Let me just change the color on this. And if the way that we trade, guys, is just structure and price action and then using these levels. So if you guys are struggling with market structure, you just got to get on the higher time frames, trace out the trends. We do teach it using fibs as well a bit. I have gravitated lately towards not doing that. So you can really just do this with a naked chart and just using kind of common sense here. So you can see here, price pushed down. We had this resistance level. This broke. We started pushing to the upside. Then we pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back. Look at this formation at the top here. This is a weakening formation here. Like this high that's established does not push much higher than this previous high here. Then we pull back again. So this is telling me the buyers are losing control. The sellers are stepping in. Then we had this little sell-off where this was realistically a perfect position. I believe this was last week. Price broke the support level, retested as resistance, dumped, came back, retested this level as resistance again, dumped. And that's where we were looking for those first sell opportunities. Now, price pushed to the upside. So the dollar gained a ton of strength. So we actually just broke the resistance, this level. And on every time frame below this time frame now, we are in an uptrend. So the 1 hour, the 30-minute, the 15-minute, this is all in an uptrend now. And if anything, right at the moment, we're looking for potentially this right here. This is the trade that's lining up. This broke resistance, turn now into support, pull back, find that higher low, go long. Now, remember, the overall picture is this daily. This daily is like, okay, where can we potentially find our next lower high, our next short opportunity? Well, I'm not going to take any trades until at a minimum, this 1 hour starts to break a significant level. And as we can see on the 1 hour, really to get in on a short, we'd have to get all the way below this level now. And remember on the 4 hour, we just said if this finds support here, go long. So it's the same thing. If this breaks the support here, turns into the resistance, then we're going to start to short this. So I'm trying to stay patient here, guys. Wait for the bigger move. There's going to be more volume to the downside, most likely on this one. And there's no reason to take a long right now. There's no reason to go long right now. If anything, the next opportunity to long, like I said, is either here at this level or if we start to break above the resistance, but that's obviously not the case right now. So nothing doing in the during this session or most likely today with this pair. We're going to have to see another several hours go by before kind of getting in to a zone that we could potentially long from. So this one's the lowest that I've got on the watch list right now. So let's go ahead and make our way through some of these other major pairs. I'm gonna check DXY too real quick because again, like Nick was saying, the dollar index is just a good indication of where is the dollar obviously heading. What's the momentum of the dollar? Where is it heading? Is it weak? Is it strong? Is it coming to support or resistance? And then we can kind of base all these other major pairs off of this. So as we can see here, I've got my levels marked up, and this thing actually broke on the weekly time frame, this resistance, pushed to the new high, and now we're pulling back. Ultimately, what it looks like is this is the level that it could retest down in this 92 area. It's already broken below 93, which is obviously all the way up here. So it's already broken below 90. It rejected 93 kind of on the dot right there. Now it's pulling back. So the dollar has room to continue to push to the downside here. As we come down to the daily, it has a minor support. It's obviously retesting the high. So it's could potentially find the support here, but I like to use the weekly time frame ultimately. And on the weekly, considering it already broke the support here, broke the support here, it does look like it has room to fall all the way down into that level. Now let's look at the 4-hour. So 4-hour time frame for me is in a downtrend, obviously pushed up, made this higher high, minor pullback, pushed up, made this like higher low. Then we broke the resistance, retested as broke the support, retested as resistance, broke the support, retested as resistance, and then broke this support level. And we never retested this level yet, guys. So I am anticipating some sort of reversal on this level here. Let's see. Oh shit. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, you can. Someone said in the chat, the screen is blank. Maybe
Yeah.
that's them. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I can see DXY clear.
Maybe that's a you problem, bro. Yeah, just write in the chat, guys, if you could see the screen in here, okay? Because I'm fucking moving right now through the analysis. Dude, I got to get my background set up like you.
Dude, I'll send you the the logo after.
Yeah, you got to send me the logo, dude. I got to get branded on here.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Yep, all good. All right, cool. So as we can see here, guys, clearly in a downtrend, just keeping it very simple. And we've yet to retest this resistance here. So I am anticipating price to come back like it always does, retest the resistance level. And what does that mean? That means the dollar could go a little bit bullish here. Dollar could go a little bit bullish, move up a bit and then push down. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, the dollar has room to push back up, retest the resistance, and then push down. So now let's go back, to these major pairs and take a look at UCAD. If the dollar has room to push up, this thing will most likely continue to, with the dollar, push up a bit as well. And then once it pulls back, that's when we're going to start to pull back into this. It's really crazy because these pairs move kind of like not the same, but you can anticipate moves really well. If the dollar pushes up a bit, this thing will push up a bit most likely. Then it will start to pull back once the dollar weakens. And the dollar will then find support, and this thing will most likely find support as well. UCAD is correlated pretty closely with the dollar, as opposed to some of these other ones aren't as close, but we could see with this one here, let's go up with GU. We caught a move earlier this week. Overall, this thing is extremely bearish on the higher time frames. Let's just go up to the monthly here real quick. Just gonna delete this line. All right, so monthly time frame, we pushed up, retested this monthly high. As you can see, what is this based off of? Same thing we drew on the other chart. Support here, resistance here, and then retest the resistance, long ass wick in February. Last month closed bearish. Now we're starting to get more bearish pressure, and it has room to push all the way back down to this 1.33 area, this previous weekly level. So let's now go down to a lower time frame. Now that we have that in mind, look at the weekly. Weekly pushed up, So very bullish, and then pushed down, and we just broke this level. So this is a significant break on the weekly time frame, and look how we closed below there. Last week failed to push above, and now we're just pushing down a bit more. So coming down to the daily, we can start to make sense of this overall move structure on the daily time frame. Just trying to take like zoom out and just take a more overall like picture as to what's going on. We had this, and then we had this minor support level here break. Once this level broke, we could see it got retested as resistance, not once, but twice. But say that we didn't consider this to be significant. We have this level. This was that lower high, double topped. And then ultimately that level broke. We started to climb back up. We had this first rejection. This is where I was looking to get in on it originally last week. And then ultimately price came up to like this area, which is, I guess, a retest of the support, retest this support, now resistance. I wasn't looking at this area as being too hot. I was either looking for a retest of this high or to reject off at this level. So that's why I didn't really get in on a GU position here. It just didn't hit one of my levels that I was really anticipating. Now that price rejected, yesterday closed very bearish, today pushing very bearish. Now we can start to get to the lower time frame and try to like snipe out some entries here. We can see on the 4 hour, this thing was bearish here, this low, lower high, low, lower high. Then we made this higher low, started to push up, this little pullback, pushed up, and then ultimately broke. So now what I want to see, guys, is a pushback in this area. So if we were to bring on our fibs, which I haven't used much in this session, but if we were to bring this on, and I'm not going to put it on yet because price hasn't even found support yet. We don't want to fib anything until price finds like bearish candle, bullish candle, bullish engulfing, morning star, whatever. So this thing is just in a free fall right now. So ideally we need a pullback. This is looking like a nice level to pull back to. We do have this level, this support level here. That price is already broken below now. So this could also become a resistance level I look to target. But remember that weekly, if we go back up to the weekly time frame, ultimately this is the area with the most liquidity, the most volume, because it formed that level of support, broke below, and then coming down to the daily as well. We're looking at that level. Obviously this is forming and pushing now, but that level would be a nice level to kind of retrace to and actually get in on like a really healthy position. But we can't do anything right now. This thing's literally in a free fall, coming down all the way to the 30-minute. What I like to say is once like the monthly, weekly, daily, once all these time frames line up and they have one sentiment, you can come down to the lower time frame and try to just take more of like intraday scalp type entries here. In this case, on the 30-minute, be intraday. What I would do at this point is you got really two levels now. And if we were to fib this, again, it hasn't even found support yet. So it's very early to be fibbing. But say it found support in this area. We got the 38.2 here. And then up here, we have the 618. These would be two areas to continue this trend at. If we were trying to just base this on the lower time frame, take a more aggressive move, I would just set limit orders right at these two levels. And ideally this level. This level is where I would try to get in on a trade. I would put my stops either outside of the 61.8, right above this 70% level right there. And I would just try to catch the continuation of the overall move. So this could be a potential trade this week, or not this week, today. I'm going to continue to monitor GU. I'm going to move this one up the watch list. And just because GU is overall just bearish on every single time frame. Every single time frame is breaking down. A lot of bears are stepping in. 4 hour time frame, obviously very bearish. Daily time frame, obviously, reversing, very bearish. So see how we have this like minor support here. It's going to probably reverse off of this area, pull back, and then we'll get a lower high. And I'll put a trade out in the signal room. I'm putting out like more intraday trades in there, swing trades. Tommy's putting out swing trades in there. And then we've got the two live sessions now, the London session and then the New York session. Brian's going to start trading that. He's he's a member of ours, and he's quite confident now in how he's been trading. So he's going to start trading the live session for New York more intraday and like scalping position. So that's my idea with GU. Waiting for the pullback here, guys. Just stay patient with this one. Let's go to EU next. Let's come all the way up to the monthly here. Boom. All right, so monthly time frame, as we could see, this one's actually crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all of these levels, and we're just going to do this together. I'm going to start on the higher time frame, and I'm going to try to mark down where are my levels potentially at. I'm going to zoom out a bit. As we can see here, this was a significant zone. Support here, resistance here, a lot of movement off that area. So I'm going to mark this as one of the levels here. I'm going to put this as this. I'm going to come down from this area. And now where is the next potential level here? Where's the next potential area where price found support and found resistance? Let's see, we have this zone, tested this with the wicks, tested it, support, broke this level, pulled back towards that area. So this is kind of, to me, the most significant area right now, and it's relevant. I mean, we could continue to go lower here, obviously down in this zone. There's a lot of resistance, support, resistance, but I'm going to keep the level up here for now. It's more relevant to where price actually is. And then I'm going to bring on this date and price range tool, and we are going to mark down this weekly. Let me just adjust this thing real quick. So again, I'm just kind of using whole numbers instead of these random spots. Let me bring this off. All right, so now we've got our levels. I'm gonna label this up, and we're just gonna do a fresh top-down analysis and see if there are any potential trades on EU. So bring on the candlestick chart. Everyone was saying how EU is gonna find support in this area, push back up to the upside, and that just didn't happen. EU collapsed about 200 pips from where everyone was expecting reversals at. Hey, I mean, I was looking for potential reversals at that level as well. Now that we've pushed much lower, it ended up finding support down in this area. This time frame is not telling me too much, so I'm just going to work down to the weekly time frame. I'm just going to focus on this area. This area we had support, broke, turn to resistance, broke, pushed down. Now we had this minor support that pushed down and broke, and we're coming back up now to retest this entire zone right here. So this is potentially an area where price can reverse from. This is where we previously had that little slow up in the market. Coming down to the daily, this thing is clearly very bearish. So let's map this out. We were in this uptrend, this little minor pullback, push to this new high, and then we actually broke. Now we're going to the downside, little double top there. This is where we're currently at. So are we going to potentially reverse now on this level? This is the zone that we're coming back into. And we're not going to just set up, we're on the daily, remember, all the way up on the daily time frames. We don't want to trade based on this time frame. We want to get in on a lower time frame, but price is coming into a confluence area, multiple confirmations here. If we wanted to name them all, we could say this is like a supply zone. There's a resistance level. If we were to bring on a fib, there's the Fibonacci level in this area as well. Whether it's the 618, the 75. As a beginner, you might want to bring on all of those tools and kind of map out, is there enough confirmation? So ultimately, what we're looking at is price action. See here how we had this push down, pull back, push down, pull back. These are the areas we're trying to enter on after the push downs on the pullbacks. So we're still climbing. So this thing's obviously bullish right now on the lower time frames, on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour. Right here, it's just climbing higher and higher in an uptrend. So we have this high, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, pushed up. So we can't do anything at the moment, but this one's like a red alert. Like we're coming into an area where we could see a huge move on this, huge reversals here. And again, this thing is going to play out sooner than later, guys. So this is a good trade idea that you can mark up, leave on your charts for a little bit. Over the next couple of days, we're going to see this one play out. Not as immediate as GU could potentially be for today, but definitely one to watch out for. Let's go to GJ next. And I believe I have two more pairs that I want to go over with you guys. USEF, which is going to be a little similar to UCAT here. So let's take a look at GJ. I just remarked all this down and just keep it simple here. We're bullish. We're in an uptrend. I know we're pulling back right now, but keep the overall picture in mind. Very bullish here, guys. Pushing higher. And we are getting a pullback. So this is a good opportunity to potentially look for entries. Weekly time frame. Excellent. Push to this high, push higher. Now we're pulling back. This is a support level. So we're about to test the support level. Coming up to the daily. Daily time frame again was super bullish. Super bullish. Now we're pulling back down to the support right here. Let's go to the 4-hour. So the 4-hour time frame is where this thing gets, a little bit tricky. We know that there's a support level down here at the weekly, for sure, 100%. Coming up to back to the weekly time frame, I know there's a gap here, which kind of fucks things up because that was over the weekend. But there is definitely support in this area, in this zone right here. So now what we want to do is I want to just sit on the 4-hour time frame. And these are the potential moves here. Trying to take advantage of both sides of the market. If price reverses from this area, we're still in this downtrend on the 4-hour time frame. Our target is still to go low down here. If price just pushes down to this level, then we're going to look for something like this. Price to slow up, indecision, breaks, and then go long. I'm going to leave this on the chart. We're going to look at this in about a couple days, and we're going to see how this thing plays out. This is the two scenarios right here. Keeping it simple, looking at structure. This is exactly what we're looking for. It would be a great situation. So I'm going to leave this directly on the chart. We're going to see how this plays out. On Sunday, I'll go over this, or I'll just drop updates inside of the chat to show you guys the progression of that trade. So let's go to NU next. Let's bump up to the monthly. And as you can see, we're running through a ton of pairs, and we haven't even found a trade. I've run through 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs, and I can't see a trade right now. And this is fine, guys. This is completely okay. I'm getting everything ready and lining it up, but we could actually be seeing something right here. So let's go to the monthly. We're on NU now. NU rejected these highs right here. This was that monthly level we talked about. It was a huge resistance level. Rejected those highs. We pushed below the weekly. So on this time frame, kind of just one look. Now let's go down to the weekly time frame. Weekly broke the support level that was holding. Now this level, whether that's retested as resistance or it holds below the weekly, we know that we're in a downtrend. Daily time frame, we were in a very clear uptrend here, making these highs, higher low, high, higher low, high, higher low. Made this high, and then ultimately we just broke out, broke the support level right here, retested the resistance, double topped, pushed down. Now we're in this like mini uptrend on the lower time frame, and we're looking for that next potential lower high. So this is like our point A, little wave A, then we've got our little B wave, and now we're looking, ultimately, I would love for price to come back up to retest this low. That would be amazing. That would also, if we brought on our fibs and see how we already found, I was saying before how GU and EU have yet to find that bearish bullish combination. So we're not going to fib it yet. Look at this pair, bearish, bullish engulfing, telling us the lower time frame shifted trends, pushing up. Now we're getting an evening star forming on the daily time frame. So we hit the 38.2, we're hitting the weekly. That's 2 confirmations. If the evening star closes, what I'll do is I'll go down to the 1 hour, and I'll start to see on the 1 hour time frame. All right, has there been a breakdown of structure? Right here. You can see it's kind of minorly broke support, broke support, broke support. So we're in this like 15-minute downtrend right now. So if I were to take trades on this, it would be based on this 15-minute downtrends. I could even bring on some different freaking tools here. Where would I want to actually trade this? I'd want to get this in this area. I'd want to retest this center. This is kind of the control level. This is also the resistance level. So I want to take trades either here, take shorts, stops above the previous high, or my other idea would be to take a trade more at this level. Stops would be above, again, the previous high. This would be a better risk reward right there. So these are two trade ideas coming at you on NU. And let's go up to the higher time frame again. I just want to walk you guys through how did I get to this idea. Daily time frame, overall bearish, broke the support. Again, I'd love to get up to this resistance level. That level would be golden to trade from, but we are at a resistance level now. This weekly level, it already broke below. We're retesting. Daily is closing in 7 hours, so potentially closing as an evening star, and we have the 38.2 there. So that's 3 confirmations. And then coming down to the 1 hour, let's take this off. Coming down to the 1 hour, obviously trending on this time frame, broke support here, retested as resistance, fell, pushed up, broke resistance, pushed up, found support, broke, retested, pushed down, and then now we are just in this downtrend. We're just in this downtrend on the 15-minute time frame, and this is where we want to potentially take advantage of this move. So this one I could potentially signal in the signal chat soon. It's about to be 10, and we just found support at this level. So price is going to come up. Price is going to come up to retest here, and ultimately price could come all the way up, which would be even better to retest up here. If price just moves, it's fine. It's okay. We can go back up to the higher time frame, continue to consider the overall move here, go back to the higher time frames and see like 4 hour, 1 hour, reevaluate. But this to me has a lot of value, this trade. So I'm going to move this one over to the watch list. That one is going to be potentially ready to get in on. I'm going to go over to gold now. This one like seems to always have trades ready. So I'm going to get over to this one. And remember, gold on the overall analysis that I posted, it broke the resistance. So it's really in a buy now. We could even refresh this, see how it's starting to play out right now. So you could always come to our analysis that we posted, play it forward, and see, how's everything playing out. So yeah, broke the resistance, wicked it already. So now we're looking for potential buys on gold. So let's look at monthly time frame. Let's see what's going on. All right, so this is perfect. Form the spinning top, reversal candle. This is the resistance. Need to push up to the resistance, 1768, 1770 level. That would be amazing to start to short from again. This is all in a monthly, guys. So weekly time frame. Look at this long wick last week, telling me buyers just ate up this candle. So again, another confirmation to go long. Found support at the bottom. And if I were to fib this, I'd fib from somewhere in this area. I don't normally fib on the weekly time frame, but we could see the 38.2 is roughly in that area. I'm gonna come down to the daily and fib this. It's gonna be cleaner. Daily time frame, fib from here to this low. So this is that 61.8, 70 area. We're either looking for reversals on 38.2, which we're already above, or the 61.8, 70 handle. So this thing is potentially, let's continue to go lower. So we see this 3 bullish candles in a row right here. We did have that doji that got wrecked on the lower time frame. Coming down now to the 4 hour. Let's look at it like this. 4 hour resistance, broke, retested, made this new high, resistance, broke, retested, pushed up, and now we're having this level get tested. So this is the level getting tested. And we're trying to get in on entries. We're trying to snipe a potential entry on this one. And let's just go back to the 4-hour. 4-hour, look how this is forming, just completely slowing up in this area. We come down now to this area and try to think about where could we potentially take a trade on this one all the way down to the 15-minute. We need some sort of structure to start to break. So on the 15-minute, we had this push down, this kind of pullback, push up. Then we broke this. Then we have all this fucking noise right here. So ultimately, guys, this is the area that we need to break. This area. This right here. This level. So if price manages to break above this level, I am going to take a long. I'm going to set a limit order down here. Once price closes above this area, I'm going to go like this. Limit order here, and we could either put it below this, all these wicks right here, about 40 pips right here, or if we're trying to be super conservative down here, but I probably wouldn't do that. And then, you know, the targets are going to be coming up to the 1-hour time frame, target this previous high right here as the first target, and then ultimately coming up to this 4-hour time frame. You know, what is the overall idea on this? Always remember what our targets are. And we were saying the target would be all the way up here, which would obviously give us a huge risk reward on this. And we're just trying to get in on this position. You know, if this thing pushes up, in my opinion, it'd be a good risk reward to get in on this 7-1, obviously. And if we take a 1% loss for a 7% potential gain, you know, that's fine with me. If I take one loss and then there's another opportunity, I get in again and we catch the 7% move, or even 5% move, 4% move, whatever, it's going to erase all the losses there, guys. So gold potentially looking for this thing to go long after the call. I'm going to wait on this one, see how this candle closes, and then the following candle. So just trying to get it on this 15-minute time frame. So I'm going to move that one over there. And then we've got USEF is the last one, which is literally just free falling right now. But this is actually interesting. So this is the last pair that I'm going to cover for you guys. Went through a bunch. As we can see with USEF, super bullish, push to the upside, broke the resistance level, push to the upside, tested the resistance. Now we're back at support right here. So this is a good area to potentially look for reversal from. Coming down to the daily time frame, it's just pulling back, pulling back. Again, good area to look for reversals from, guys, right in this zone. So this is not going to play out today. You know, this is going to play out over the course of the next couple days, early next week. But I am going to look for support in this zone right here again. And looking at the 4-hour, clearly it's bearish. You know, broke support, tried the retest, just too bearish to even retest the resistance. Push down, never retested again. So this thing is ultimately really fucking bearish right now. And if you're like a scalper and you're trying to get in on these like moves kind of until it gets ultimately to that support level all the way down there, what we can do is just literally take trades on this. I'm going to take this off for now. We can literally come all the way down to the 5-minute, all the way down to the 15-minute time frame, and we can just line off the support levels that ultimately were formed, and then where we would want to take the entries. So this is what's been going on right here. We broke support, retested as the resistance, broke support, retested as resistance, broke support, retest, broke support, retest. Now we're pushing lower again. This is where we're trying to take those short opportunities, guys. Think about all of these opportunities. This one we wouldn't have got in on because it never retested the level. This one we could have got in on, put stops above this high right here. Quick moves here, just quick scalps, whether you just got 1% or 2% on this one, whatever. That would have been the trade idea. And then this one again would have put stops here. Now would have been moving, would have been up about 0.7% on this one. And then the same thing, if we wanted to get in on a trade, we're waiting for that confirmation where it closes below. Look at how it's forming now. 7 minutes left here. So then this could become a level that I look to trade from. 10 pips. And then remember, we have room to push down. This is the support level down here. So we have some room. So this could actually be some action that I get in on right after this call. So that's everything that I wanted to go over for you guys. Ton of info there. Again, if you got any questions, throw it in the chat. The session is recorded, so it'll be posted afterwards, so you guys can go back, take a look at all the nuggets, because I did break down kind of from the beginning, which I normally don't do. So that's pretty much it. Little update for FX Seed, and I'm going to post this in the chat as well. The Master Trader program, or the account management program, is going to start next week. So it's going to start on Monday. We're getting that set up for everybody right now. And we actually have an extra account that we're going to give away. So we're going to give away one 100K account to one lucky person. I'm going to post it in the I'm going to do a post on FX Seed with the instructions on what you guys will need to do to qualify to get in on that. But someone's going to get access to that. And then inside of the signals chat, like I mentioned earlier, guys, we're doing live trading sessions now during the London and the New York session. The New York session is going to start this week. Tomorrow, actually, we're going to do a live session from 8 to 10. So that's going to start tomorrow. And along with that, we're also posting signals in here as well. The whole point of changing this up and adding the live sessions is it becomes more of like a mentorship as opposed to just giving a signal out there. So you guys are learning from not one, not two, but three different people in the chat, posting charts, posting analysis, posting videos. That's ultimately how you guys are going to get better at trading and make some money too, realistically. So the price is going to go up to 99 on the premium signals. Right now it's on sale for 50% off. I posted it, the details inside of the chat, for the sale here. Let me see. What's this? Oh yeah. I posted the details, I believe, right here. I'll post another update again. So if you guys want to get in, it's 50% off right now, $37.50 per month for the lifetime of your membership. There's no sales on the lifetime membership right now. I know we run those every now and then. No sales on that. And then other than that, that's pretty much all the updates that I can think of right now. I'm going to go up and catch up on a few things. Got a ton of messages from people that I'm going to catch up on, but that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That wraps up our Wednesday call. So enjoy the rest of the day. Happy trading for the rest of the week, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for that live session.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna probably make tomorrow's session free for everyone. Everyone can see it. So I'll drop the link inside of the chat. And like Nick said, hope you guys enjoy the day. I'll be posting these trades in the signals, and we'll be back on tomorrow and on Sunday for the Sunday Market Blitz. So see y'all then.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out.